So that's quite important, because when you're looking at your net worth, you got to start with saying, well, what do I want my net worth to be, so that there's a goal, and then work backwards. How do I get there? And if I can start with £50 or $50 a week, if I save that every week, and you can go online and use calculators online. I don't have to teach you the maths behind it, but you can say, okay, and if I get a 3% return and I put this away for how long will it take to reach my goal? And that's called just this basic cash flow projection calculations. And it's what we use in financial planning all the time. What we say to clients is we say, okay, what is your goal? What is your objective? Where do you want to go to? And we discuss that in a lot of detail and over most of the meeting. And then the rest of it is saying, okay, in your exact circumstances, with your risk profile, with how you feel about investments and pensions and taxes and where you are and who you work with, and your education level or your lack of education, or how involved you want to be. There's a lot of variables that we take into account, and then we say, okay, here's a plan. You start like this, that's great. And then we review it all the time. And we say, okay, we need to increase it, we're on track, we're not, this is what is happening. Because remember, when you're dealing with assets, the valuations that you place on an asset are always behind you. It's always in hindsight. It's never in front of you. And that's one of the challenges, right? Because you're always valuing what happened yesterday, and what you need is what's going to happen tomorrow. So that's a struggle. Yeah. So there are strategies everywhere from £50 a week up to £100.
Are you looking to achieve the most relevant qualification to kickstart your career? Then reward yourself with the best globally recognized professional business qualification, CIMA. Irrespective of the field you aspire to succeed in, a CIMA qualification can add immense value to your resume and professional life. Succeed in your CIMA journey with supportive tuition provided by qualified lecturers and resources. Nanaska is the leading registered CIMA tuition provider in Sri Lanka, with over a decade in the industry and hundreds of success stories. With qualified and certified tutors, Nanaska now provides easy access 100% virtual classes so that you could succeed at your exams and in life right from the comfort of your home. At Nanaska, it's not just about a qualification. We help you think out of the box and build a personality. Exciting offers also await students overseas. Enroll now. Call +94 77 499 7338 or visit www.nanaska.com. Commence your CIMA journey at Nanaska and become a globally recognized leader. Nanaska, smile with results.
We're back on the show, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking everything AR and VR. Now, coming on to a quick list of who the brands are actually getting onto the platform. DJ Kings and me, I'm talking to you every day of the week from 1 to 2 p.m. Everything about business tech entrepreneurship. So today we've got the list on what brands are actually coming into the whole the whole experience, the whole VR experience. And to start off with, we got the Oculus Quest 2. This is by Facebook, right? Now we know Facebook Rooms conversation came up last week. We spoke about this, right, Kings?
I believe so. We did speak about the Facebook Rooms. It does sound like it does ring a bit of a bell. It does ring a bit of a bell, but I do remember
it's basically the story where they've created, just like the holograms you have in Star Wars, right? You have the you can basically create your avatar. Just like on Snapchat, you can create your avatar with your skin color, your hairstyle, your outfit, your facial hair, your structure, all that. And you create different rooms, and these virtual rooms add whoever is coming into that meeting. So even if you don't have, let's say I don't have the Oculus and you have the Oculus, you can create the room and I can still join it. So it's like that, you have that option as well. So it's super cool because this whole integration into AR and these virtual meetings, you know how the online meetings story is completely changing it's completely changing where things and how business is going, right? So just to understand what the whole scope of just to understand the whole scope of where people are moving into in terms of um the interaction in terms of online or work from home cases. You have a ton of Google Meets conversations, you have a lot of Zoom conversations going on. What Facebook is doing now is they're coming to take on that whole compete and change up that whole experience, so kind of wipe everybody out with a whole new interface and interaction based a more interactive or entertaining based Zoom conversation or something like that. I mean, that it's Facebook, so they are going to have intentions of gathering information from that as well. But where do you think people are going to go? Do you think they're going to actually listen? Do you think they're actually going to be very particular about joining that, or are they just going to go hop into it?
Hopping into what the whole VR, like in the whole VR conversation, as in going straight into it. I think with being able to, I feel a few people, I feel as though they probably have to warm up to the whole idea of VR. But on a grand scheme of things, I feel like overall, loads of people will just want to run straight into it. If there's one thing I know about just people, as in people whenever it comes consumers, should I say, not just people, consumers. If there's one thing I know about consumers, especially when it comes down to technology, buy. They want the newest things. They always want the newest things. So if Apple's releasing something to do with VR, as long as it's got the Apple logo on it, they will buy it. I mean, we've seen recently, I don't know if you've heard of these AirTags, but ever since those have come out, how many people have bought them? I mean, yes, they are very, very useful. They are very, very useful. Don't get me wrong. But how many people have bought them? AirTags. We've seen AirPods. As soon as those were released, immediately people were buying them. We've seen, the new iPhones, whenever they came with their plugs, whenever they came with the new plugs, people had to buy. Well, that's a necessity. So I feel like that one we could keep to the side. But my point stands as, whenever there's always something new, specifically whenever it comes to Apple, people want to buy it straight away. People always want to
These are not necessarily brand new products, right? Like some of these products are actually already in the market. Now, there was something called, there was something, I mean, the AirTag it's not a new innovation by Apple. This whole product was, this product was in the market a while back. I don't really remember the name right now, but there was something that you could put in your wallet. You could put on your keys. You could keep in, wherever, your bag if you're traveling in the airport. There was this particular thing in this tag that you could actually connect to your phone or something like that. But it's just that, Apple came out with this whole rebranding structure and, it's like people actually got to know the whole thing all together at once this time. So I get where you're coming from. I agree with you there. And, that way, I think Apple can genuinely stand out as well. Like we spoke about, because of their brand conversation.
Yeah.
But to compete with that, there's also the HP Reverb G2 coming in at $600. And this will actually have not just now the Oculus Quest basically. I'm sure you've seen these videos as well of this of people gaming and stuff like that with the joysticks as well. But the HP Reverb and Microsoft the HoloLens, these are actually coming out with sensors on the outside that will actually track your hand movements as well. So this is very similar to Tony Stark stuff in his office, where you open up a file from somewhere, you just zoom it out, you fix something up, and then maybe you minimize it and just send it away. So it's that kind of stuff. Now these are coming in at around ranging from $600 to $3,500.
Really?
Yeah. So it's super cool, man. I mean, I'm just saying, man, this is just the birth of this whole industry, right? This this whole innovation phase. And it's super cool to see brands like Microsoft, even TikTok is actually getting onto VR headsets.
And as one thing we do know about TikTok, as they have had that huge rise to prominence in the past year, and even this year, they're still going strong, and they're only going up as far as we know. So far, if they were to go and incorporate VR, do you know what? This is actually a question for me. This is actually a question I have. What if TikTok were to incorporate VR? What exactly would it? What would it entail? Like, what would they do with just the fact that TikTok has VR? Is it a case of maybe now TikToks are 3D or immersive? I don't know. Maybe people can literally be in the TikTok. I don't know if you've seen the TikToks of people saying, "Oh, duet with me" or "dance with me" or something like that. And then you could have the VR headset on, and it's like you're right there in front of them dancing with them. So it's like they do a move, then you do a move, then it's like, okay, bang, 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 then you just bang, 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 high five, stuff like that.
Dude, that could switch up the fitness industry as well. That would be crazy. Imagine
that could
doing
switch up the which industry?
Fitness. I mean, you have, let's say these Zumba classes, for example, right?
Yeah.
Dude, that could switch things up like mad. I mean, I'm talking, you get these bicycle sessions that you have, these HIIT cycling sessions that you have. Like, imagine being on VR and, watching your trainer do that. You're basically at home on an air bike or, the cycle. And what you see is, you're in a room with about 20 other people in a whole studio kind of vibe, and cycling to the beat, and hyping up, and cooling down with that whole Tabata vibe. That could be crazy. That could be
yes.
I mean, that's just one example, right? But like you said, when you're talking about TikTok and VR, there's this thing called TikTok Studio we actually were talking about, and they are actually testing how they can get into VR. So maybe now I was actually thinking, right? Okay, let's say hypothetically, you have now Snapchat starting these games, right? Snapchat starting these AR VR games, and you have TikTok having the whole VR experience. Facebook will definitely get onto it, and that means Instagram as well. But imagine how much more immersed people will be on their mobile phones or apps or tablets or whatever.
That would mean a lot of us will really be locked into everything, but then we'll also lose sight of our surroundings. So we'll actually be so lost in the whole virtual atmosphere that we actually forget that we are living in present day and real life. It's crazy. It's crazy. I feel like the amount of strides that technology has really taken, it's starting to shape our lifestyles. We don't in a way that we don't even know.
Dude, I was watching this thing where this dude on VR was, I mean, the port, right? The dock. I mean, where the containers come in and the harbor. People that actually so it's a job for these people that work on these cranes to move the crane up, collect the container, and put it on the truck or whatever, right?
Of course,
I mean, as of the pandemic, they've come into a phase where people are doing all these operations from home. So you have the guy with 2 joysticks at his house office. He has about 2 to 3 monitors, and he's actually moving the crane and dislodging or collecting them from home.
That's insane.
It's insane. And I'm just thinking, man, this Tesla robot thing is all coming out. It's only the start of I mean, we're at we've seen quite a bit happen, but those curves that go like that, where I think we're just at the beginning of the peak. So I mean, it's important that you're man, it's important that you keep your skills also on par with whatever is happening, man.
Exactly that. If anything, there is one other thing I wanted to point out as well, along with the whole conversation of VR, being able to integrate that with our whole lifestyle and everything like that. You did mention something about it's so good for the fitness industry. One thing I feel like VR and AR is going to have to do, and this I feel like you may need to hear me out on this. So this, I feel like, will definitely help the whole technological industry,
Yeah.
mainly because of the fact that it's going to benefit how VR will be used in different situations. And what I feel like VR should do, they need to make different styles to their goggles. That's what I
Oh
feel
yeah,
they
for
need to
sure.
do.
I
Because
mean,
for start,
this is just, we're just seeing the 3G, the iPhone 3G of, VR headsets,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
We are
yeah,
just seeing the first phase of these.
yeah,
Now, the Facebook Oculus 3, the HP, the Microsoft HoloLens 3, these will be, I mean, it'll come to a point where they will need to sell these. So they
of
will need to
course.
price themselves competitively as well. Now, we know Apple doesn't really seem to care about, competition in pricing. It's just through their value and their message. But,
Yeah,
when you're talking about the Android suppliers, at least if they start at around $3,000, I
yeah,
can guarantee you the prices will eventually go down. Because that's the way it has been. The bigger mobile phones, the ones that you had to hold like that, those
yeah.
have been the most expensive, the wireless ones. But it comes down to um, there is all it's guaranteed whatever the product is. That is always a cycle in the product life cycle. Like the price eventually starts really high, but when the
Yeah,
production and the competition increases, you have to make sure that it's affordable and reasonable to the market as
of
well.
course, of
That's what I
course, of
love
course.
about competition. That's what I love about being the consumer in a market like this. I mean,
Yeah,
for them they would hate it, right? But yeah, it's
of
it's it's
course.
super interesting to see where it's gonna go.
And that's the beautiful part of it all. That's the beautiful part of it all. Being able to integrate so many different ideas with VR alone. Um, One thing I do feel as you see as we are now only in that iPhone 3G stage of VR. One thing they should do is incorporate sweat-proof goggles because it is a guarantee that if people do end up using these for fitness, it may damage the goggles. So
Mm.
that's one thing
Oh
I
yeah,
feel
for
like they need
sure,
to
man.
do.
Oh, for sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
incorporate sweat-proof goggles. It
Sweatproof
will
and
definitely help.
like the goggles that we're kind of like it's not going to be it can get intense, right? I mean
Yeah,
it can get intense. So let's say you're doing burpees, you don't want the thing to just fall off and break, so it'll have to fit on quite well but also be comfortable.
yeah,
So there will be challenges, but just like people have, just like from the wired headphones, it's come to the waterproof the earbuds, and
yeah, yeah,
it's I mean it will definitely get to that phase. So we'll probably see that probably in the next 5 to 10 years time or so, but 5 years I
yeah,
can say. But it's just that we are still at the birth of it. You have to stay on it. You have to watch what's happening with the industry, because
yeah.
I mean it's super cool to see where it's going and how fast it's maturing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's like you have no other option but to be proud and just, really, really take it, you really, really, engulfed in seeing the progression of how far technology has come. And it's
yeah,
beautiful. It's a really beautiful thing. But
yeah,
yeah, nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, we are now at that point in the show where we are now to close up. Sadly,
yeah.
we're meant to be. I can give you so much more information on virtual reality and augmented
We
reality.
can do this tomorrow as well. We can bring it up tomorrow. I've got quite a few, brands that we can talk about TikTok alone, because they've
Yeah.
spent $4 billion and purchased a gaming company. So they are looking at going into gaming as well.
Do
Four
you know how
billion
beautiful
dollars,
that
right?
sounds? That's crazy. Do you know how beautiful that sounds? Now, TikTok, before we, ladies and gentlemen, we will go into more detail about TikTok tomorrow. But one thing I will say
Exactly.
is that TikTok have taken huge strides in the market. And
Very
this piece of
fast, so
yeah,
fast.
very, very quickly, very, very quickly. And this piece of information right here proves just how fast that they've managed to take their strides. So, ladies
Exactly.
and gentlemen, sorry to let you know it is the end of the show. We have been your hosts for today, DJ Kings and Tim. Feel free, ladies and gentlemen, don't even forget, if you guys want to contact us, leave us a comment, let us know what you want to hear. Ladies and gentlemen, the number is right there down below, 07852 473 Do not hesitate to call us up, give us a ring, share some love. We love love. So bring it in. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's right. Hit Kings up or me. You can call us up on this number. Kings and I will be here from 1 to 2 tomorrow. Make sure you're tuned in. Make sure you keep the calendar free and, get that new juice, new updates into your head at that time. Just, put your legs back. If you're working, you can have us in your ears on the app or on YouTube. But just make sure you're tuned in 1 to 2 p.m. For the rest of the week on The Buzz on Relax Radio. This is DJ Kings and Tim signing out for the day. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.